Hey guys, this is Renee and I am back with some real talk. What I wanted to discuss with everybody today was, when is enough enough? You know, like the old Donna Summer song, enough is enough. That's what I'm playing right now here. This is what inspired this real talk today. Are you ready for it? I'm still waiting for it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Enough is enough. I know, I'm just funny. Do it. Just tell him to get out. All right, enough with this. Enough is enough. Ready, ready, ready? Enough is enough. I can't go on. I can't go on. Enough is enough. Okay, so anyway, this real talk is enough is enough. When do you finally get to the point where enough is enough? And I'm not just talking about you being in a relationship. This could be with absolutely anybody in your life, okay? This could be, most times it's going to be in a relationship, well, in my experience, but it can happen with a family member. It could happen with a boss. It could happen with anybody, friends, family, you name it. It could happen. So when is it enough is enough? When do you draw that line, and when do you say, that's it, I've had it, I'm done? When do you finally do that? I know this is very difficult for many people because I was one of those people. We need to learn how to set boundaries, because that's what the problem is. Most of us don't even know how to set boundaries. Or if people step over the boundaries, you don't know how to communicate with the other person, letting them know, it didn't work with you. It doesn't work when you do that. Because you know what? Actually setting boundaries, if you never did it before, you're not going to know where to even begin and where to start. It's not that simple. It's not as simple because, there's many times you might be speaking to a friend of this one or that one. They're like, oh, I would never let that happen to me. Oh, no, I would just say no. Until you're in the actual situation, you really don't know, because I've said millions of times, oh, I would never let someone do something like that to me. And then guess what? It happened to me. Right? It's like, sometimes there's many people that are like a pushover because you feel bad. They make you feel bad for them. Well, they make you feel guilty. Like when you don't want to do something and you get that feeling like you feel uncomfortable, but you just do it anyway, because you don't want to hear them. But when do you finally say, you know what? Enough is enough. I've had it. I'm done. When do you actually put your foot down? When do you get to that point? Do you get to that point when you've reached rock bottom and you're crying yourself to sleep at night, where you can't deal with the drama, the stress? But when does that happen? Why do we have to put ourselves through this? So when is enough enough? Enough is enough should be right now. Right now, we all need to set boundaries. And actually, lots of times people don't even know what to set boundaries for. Like what they believe in, what they don't believe in. They don't even have a clue at all. And it's actually like crazy, to be honest with you. Now thinking about it, but it's really, I know it's crazy that people haven't done it, but I know because I was one of those people that didn't even, have any boundaries. Like I just went with the flow kind of thing. Yes, I know right from wrong, but it was so easy to let other people take advantage of me without me even realizing they were taking advantage, because I just felt like I was helping them and that they, didn't know better, making excuses for them. So when is enough, where you're going to stop with the excuses and you're going to finally say, you know what? I deserve respect. Nobody should disrespect you or walk all over you. When you say no, it's no. Not like, oh, I know you said no, but it's we'll see, right? No, it's no. We have to know how to say no. Sometimes we have to be very blunt so they understand it. And it's a very good idea that, like, when you start a relationship or in a relationship, that you have boundaries and everything set. I don't know what that ding was. I had to look. But it's not, you know, when you've never done this before, it's not easy. Because you have to identify what your boundaries are, what's important to you, what's not important to you. Where do you finally say, stop, you went too far? Only you could answer that. What can you live with? What can't you live with? That's up to you. If someone's criticizing you and you have a bad feeling about like whatever they said, or like you really took it to heart, are you going to sit there, or are you going to like stand up for yourself and say, listen, I don't appreciate you talking to me like this? But then they continue to do it. What do? Say, I'm not going to be around this. You don't like it? There's a door. And you accept nothing less. You can't always be the nice guy. Because if you allow people to step over that boundary, they will take advantage of you. Trust me, I know they do. I was one of those people that they took advantage of. So I know, because I always look for the good in people. And I just couldn't like wrap my mind around how someone, you're basically saying no, or don't treat me like this, and they continue to do that. I just don't get it. Because if someone told me no, I stop. I don't just go on and on and on and on and on about it, or push them to the limit where they can't, deal with it. Many of us are going through this. Many of us. And like I said in the beginning of this video, it does not have to be in a relationship with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, husband, your wife. This can even happen at work with a boss, where they're pushing you to the limit, where because they know the type of person you are, so they're taking advantage of you by having you do 5 other people's jobs and only getting paid 1 salary. This can happen with friends, where they only call you when they want your advice, but they're never around any other time. Right? So these are things that you have to set boundaries for yourself of what are you going to accept and what you're not going to accept. I'm just very passionate about this only because I was through it. I know that until you're actually in a situation where you don't feel right, where people are taking advantage of you and you get the feeling like, I know this isn't right, this shouldn't be like this, then you know what, you're right. It shouldn't be like that, and that's up to you to finally say, stop, I'm not taking this. And don't care what they say. They're going to make you try to feel guilty because they want to continue to take advantage of you. So what are you going to do about it? Well, what we all need to do is recognize what boundaries are important to us, where we draw that line, and when somebody steps up to that line, we tell them, back up, buddy, because you're not taking that. And I don't give a crap what kind of excuse they say. Oh, the best has to be is, oh, I was just playing. I was just joking around with you. Well, you know what? I don't find it funny, and it's not a joke to me. So you need to watch what you say on that, whatever it is that bothered you. Because we have respect for ourselves. So we don't want anybody to disrespect us. Plain and simple. So let me know when enough is enough for you. How did you set your boundaries? Do you have boundaries? Because think about it. What are your boundaries? You got to think about past situations and say, oh my God, you know what? I really didn't have any boundaries set. Let me set some boundaries in my mind right now. So if anybody tries to cross them, I can immediately say, I'm not comfortable with this. I'm not comfortable with the way that you're treating me, and I'm not comfortable, and you speak up about it. Because if you do not speak up about it and you don't put your foot down immediately, they're going to continue to walk all over you. And that's not right. What's up with that? People don't think, they don't put themselves in other people's shoes. Like, how would I feel if someone did that to me? Many of you don't. I was brought up that way. Before I was to do anything, how would I feel if that was done to me? That was embedded in my head, embedded in my sister's heads, because that's how my mother and father raised us. Don't you dare do anything if you wouldn't want it done to you. That's all I heard growing up. And before you do anything, think about it. That's how I was brought up. My mom and my dad stressed that. And that's what I lived with my whole life. That before I do anything, I think about, like, oh my God, if that was done to me, would I like that? No one's perfect. I didn't say I was perfect every time, but I tried to be, in the sense, whereas if I knew it was going to hurt me, I wouldn't do it. If I was okay with it, I would give it a shot. I'm only human, But seriously, comment below, because you know what? So many of us are dealing with this issue where we don't know how to say no or stop, or, I can't listen to you, complain and wanting advice all night long. I have things I got to take care of also. Even though, don't get me wrong, there are certain people that take advantage of that, is what I'm referring to. Because I love listening to everybody's, helping people. That is not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to that one person that will only call you and get you on the phone for 2-3 hours at a clip, and it'll be like every night, and you're losing time doing things that you need to get done. And that this person is just saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. But they know that you're going to talk to them for that hour or 2 hours because they know you feel bad. Right? You have to learn how to say, listen, I'm sorry you're going through a hard time right now, and I really can't help you right now. I'm in the middle of doing something, and if you want to chat, tomorrow at an earlier time, I might have 15-20 minutes. You just cut it short. You just told them, listen, I can't do it right now, but you know what? Tomorrow's a better day for me, or I only have 15 minutes, or whatever you can get in on 15 minutes. Shoot, I'm yours. Because there are people that don't know when to stop. So please think about this, because this is going to help you, especially if you might be in situations where you don't feel comfortable. So if you don't feel comfortable, try to figure out why you don't feel comfortable. Is it that person that's making you feel uncomfortable? Is it your surroundings? What just happened to make you feel uncomfortable? Because if you feel uncomfortable, that means you don't have any boundaries set, and you need to, voice what your boundaries are immediately. The sooner the better. Because if you were with somebody or knew somebody for so long, and they know how your personality is, that you're a little bit of a pushover, they know how far to get you, kind of thing. Because if they ask just enough times, you're going to eventually help them out, or whatever it is, for them to take advantage of you. You need to figure this out immediately, so you could put a stop to it and be like, oh, that's why I've been feeling drained. That's why I'm exhausted. They've been draining me, and not understanding why you feel that way. I know, crazy. It's all about enough is enough. So let me know when it's enough is enough for you. Comment below. Let me know if you're dealing with any situations like this. Maybe you have some tips for other people on what helped you to actually figure out what your boundaries are. So I will see all of you tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day. Mwah!